Hey, welcome back to Wrestling Travels Lockdown Sessions, presented to you today by True Heel Heat Wrestling Podcast. Today we are over the moon that we have Dani Jordyn joining us. Dani, how are you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Up here in the
Cool.
north of the country, you're down in the south.
I am.
And we're honored to have you on Lockdown Sessions. I know we tried before, and our schedules didn't just meet up, and
Yeah.
almost lost you today because of my technical expertise or lack thereof.
Or
But
lack of.
yeah, absolutely. So what we wanted to talk about is just kind of general catch up. What's been going on during this time of world ridiculousness?
Right. That's the best way that we could put it. Ridiculousness. Man, not much. I thought I had a little hope spot of things picking back up again, wrestling and just life in general, working, training, going to the gym. But it's kind of come to a halt again. So a little bit of glimmer, of hope coming in the middle there, but still not really doing anything. I'm working through a knee injury right now, so trying to get through that the best that I can. Hopefully another 3 weeks left to go, and I should be okay. We'll see about that. I'm still working, but yeah, nothing much, man. Training not really going on. Gym's kind of closing down again. It's so boring. It's so boring.
Yes, if there's any time to have a knee injury in the history of the world,
it would be now. You're right. Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
keeps saying it's perfect timing, and I'm like, I guess so. Yeah.
I can't even turn the news on, Dani, because I get a glimmer of hope, like you say, and then
Yeah.
it's 2 minutes later. If I'm on the internet or something else, it's something tragic.
I know.
So
I know.
what'll be good
Everybody
is
just needs to stay safe and keep clean.
exactly. So hopefully we can do like a few minutes a year talking wrestling, and everybody who's watching can enjoy. Let's start at the beginning. How long have you been in the business?
I started training in about February 2017. So 3 years? 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Happy anniversary.
3 years. Thanks.
So
Still doing well.
Where did you break in? Who broke you in?
I started training at the WWA 4 in Atlanta. I moved here for wrestling specifically. I was living in Savannah, Georgia at the time. And, after high school and stuff, I moved to Georgia. And eventually I was just like, what am I doing with my life? And found wrestling. And, it's always been there, but it kind of clicked that I really want to go do it around like 2015. It's when I started like watching again, because everybody has those holes where they stop watching wrestling. So through my school years, I tried to keep up a little bit, and then busy life and stuff like that, I missed out on a lot of it. And then 2014, 15 is when I started picking it back up again, and I was just like, man, that looks awesome. And the women's evolution thing started happening, and all of that, like in my mind, in my heart, and I was just like, oh, I have to go do that. I want to go do it. Like it was realistic, at that point. So I didn't think it was a dream anymore. So I just Googled how to be a wrestler and found out I had to go to school and stuff like that, and found a school nearest, the one closest to me and the one that was most affordable to me at the time was WWA 4. So I went there, and then now I'm training at the Nightmare Factory. Now it's called. It used to be called One Fall Power Factory, and I train with QT Marshall.
Okay, fantastic.
Still here.
It's still there. That's good. Yeah, we all go through our stages where we're up and down. I just when you're the latest wrestler that I've interviewed. Usually, I thought it was crazy when some of these kids were like 2006. I got into it. So
yeah.
Well,
nope, just 3 years.
We'll know where we're at after this next question. So when you're a young Dani Jordyn, I'm not sure how old you are when you first start watching pro wrestling. Like, what do you see on the TV? Like, who catches your eye?
Ooh, Like going way back to the beginning, like little kid
Yeah,
me.
I'd say like the first time where you kind of like, all right, discover pro wrestling. For me, it's Greg Gagne in the AWA.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
who kind of catches your eye when you're first watching?
I oh man, I one of my best friends growing up, his name's Kyle. What's up, Kyle? We used to play the WWE video games back in the day. So
Yes.
so I feel like he kind of got me more into wrestling than I was because I didn't really know too much about it. And I didn't even watch it consistently because I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I just like playing video games. So I would do that with him and stuff like that. And his brother was older than us, and his brother and his friends would like come downstairs, beat us up and stuff, do little wrestling moves on us on the couch and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. But they got me into John Cena, and he was just my favorite growing up. And Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels always been number one, and The Rock. You know, all the top tier guys. Those were my favorites. And then Trish and Lita, can't forget about them. So that was like a good breaking point. Once I started to realize who they were, I was like, oh wow, this is cool. So
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of the female athletes, wrestlers that growing up, that might be a little bit older than you, that wasn't a whole lot of women's wrestling on.
no, yeah, I didn't really watch it either. I didn't like watching it back in the day when I was younger. But that's just obvious reasons. But as it matured and developed into more of a like more like respected talent and everything like that started happening, I was just like, oh, this is great. I want to be like them. It's always good to see like women as your role model. So tough women.
Yes, and that's what I was going to get to. Like I had
Tough women.
a few months ago, the Blossom twins on from Impact, and
Cool.
one of the things I really want to like touch on is we grew up with myself. The women were an attraction. Maybe had a
Mhm.
match here and there, and then they kind of got into that attitude era where it was bra and panties. And now, as a guy, I'm like, okay, but what I didn't realize is how much when you spoke about the women's evolution. Now, these women athletes, and I told the Blossom twins in the mid 2000s in TNA, you would turn that show on, and the women are killing it. Their matches
Yeah.
were on fire compared, I'm like, dare I say, better than the men. And now, just one of the NXT pay-per-views I watched, and it was a 6-woman tag match. And as well as I do, usually when there's a 6-person tag match, when you go to a show, it's usually like, all right, we had a bunch of extra people showed up. Let's just throw them in. Everybody can get a little stuff. Man, they blew me
Yeah.
out of the water. And then that main event was the title match with Charlotte and Io Shirai, and I can't even remember who else. Oh,
Yeah.
Rhea
I can't
Ripley.
remember either, man. I have a terrible
But
memory.
but
Oh yeah.
it was 2 killer matches. So
Yeah.
I mean, I got to think that as a woman, you're thinking you're in it at the right time. You're not in this, like, you're not just this sideshow attraction. Women
Mhm.
aren't anymore. They're athletes. And they're killing it, and that's got to be great that you're right in the mix. You're at that right time where um, women are. Here's the men. Here's the women. Sometimes the women are
Yeah.
here, so it's
I
great.
know. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that. That's like, oh, that's what I'm all about. Like that's my passion, Like obviously I love women's wrestling because I'm a woman and I have to look up to them and everything, but it's just so great to see, seeing how far they've come, since it started.
Yeah.
So well
So
respected now and they're so good. Like, like women are just as good as men. We can do anything. So
absolutely,
powerful, so tough.
the psychology, the storytelling, and the athleticism is there. I gotta think. Though I hope this doesn't come across sexist, but I gotta think back in some of the day, people might have said, "Hey, I'm a female and I'm a professional wrestler," and they immediately think of um, a bra and panties type match or just some
Yeah.
eye candy. And now it's like, no, dude, I'm hardcore. I'm
Now we think of badass women.
Exactly,
which
and I
is great.
love it. And then you
Yeah.
are, it kind of
I
goes.
always I always think about like, oh man, I wish I'd gotten wrestling sooner, or I wish I started at a younger age and stuff like that. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me take a step back and just be grateful that I started when I did, because who knows, like everything happens for a reason. So I started when I did for a reason. When did I start? I started when I was 23, 23, I think. Yeah, that's 3 years ago. So I'm 26 now. So yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything happens for a reason. You start when you start. And I think if I had started any sooner, I don't know where I would be at right now, or what I would have gone through when I was younger, because there's a lot of younger girls that are out there in wrestling, like that started like 18, 17, 16. And I can't even think about myself doing that when I was that age. That's hard, because you're still developing, you're still like a kid technically. So you're still developing into being an adult, and having your full potential, and there's so many things that could morph your mindset and things like that. Could be bad, could be good. So I'm glad when I started at 23. It was
Yeah,
good. It's a
20,
good time to be in right now.
23 is a great age, just because you've got your people training under 18, and this is my old school, my disclaimer, my opinion only, but when you're under 18, unless you're a prodigy or an offspring of somebody wrestling, I just think the mentality, I know what I was like at under 18. I know what I was like at 20. My
Hmm.
brain was not fully,
Yeah.
fully developed, just to kind of have the maturity to have that respect for the business and realize what I'm doing is dangerous.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I've had many a talk with people, and I remember being in my young 20s, like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take a chair shot. I'll run all the stupid stuff that now I'm like,
Yeah.
I go watch shows and I'm like, man, you have to pay me a lot to do that.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're young and you're into it, like, you just don't care. So
I know, especially when you first start too. I think anybody that starts, pretty much no matter what age, they're gonna do all that stupid stuff, get that out of the way, and then they move on and they're like, okay, wait a minute, this has gotta be my career. I need my body to be safe and healthy to its full potential. So let me not do all this crazy stuff. I did a lot of, yeah, I had my phase. And now I'm out of that phase. I still like to do, crazy, cool, fun looking things, but safely.
right, you almost, like, your brain goes, let's think about this for a second, how we can do it
Yeah.
without.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I made sure to not do any moves like that are gonna potentially ruin my body in the future. Like if I keep doing one specific move in my matches, is this gonna hurt me down the line? Am I gonna pay for this like 3, 5 years from now? So I made sure to consciously be aware of that. Aside from jumping off any ladders or anything that I used to do, I would always be like, oh, I need a top rope move. And somebody's like, oh, do a leg drop. You have powerful legs. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do a leg drop off the top rope for like what? Why? My body's not going to be able to handle that a couple years from now. So stuff like that to prolong my career. Be smart.
Yeah, I go to many shows and I'm going, man, you guys got some awesome, super flippy thing that I see you do every
Hmm.
show, but you want to be able to do this for a long time and make some money.
Yeah, I
Um,
am jealous of all the flippy things that people can do. I wish I could do that. I'm not a flipper or a jumper. I like to stay grounded for the most part. It's always fun to feel like you can fly, but I'd be terrified. I can't. I
I'm,
envy them.
I'm the same way. I went out to 2015. I was out in Easton, Pennsylvania, Chikara, the King of
Oh,
Trios tournament, and yeah, the guys from Lucha Underground, the Young Bucks, AJ Styles. I mean, to sit in that high school setting, and I just bought a ticket and sat, and I'm like, all right, it's Labor Day weekend. I'm gonna watch some wrestling, but to see the luchadors and the Young Bucks, like, in your face in front of you doing that stuff,
that's cool.
takes my breath away.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
really cool. I love Chikara too. They have a lot of, man, they showcase a lot of people there. I went for the first time, like, I think like 2 years ago, something like that. And it was awesome. I didn't know what it was before that, actually. Cause when I first got into wrestling, I didn't know that the independent scene existed at all. I had no idea. So like when I first got in, my eyes were open and I found out like all of this stuff exists. And I was like, what? There's more than just like one show. So that was really cool. But when I went for the first time, I went with my friend Aja Pereira asked me to go, and she was on the show, and she was, she'd had a match, and I think it was like a 2-day show, right? And it was the King of Trios tournament, and so we were there both days, and it was so much fun, and oh, I loved it. Such a cool show. It was so much fun, so entertaining.
That King of Trios, I don't know. Hopefully, something like that comes back, but to be in a room with up and coming stars, some stars that you may have heard of, and then legends when they do that
right?
tournament. I mean, it's such a buzz. Talk to me about that, because it's interesting. You bring it up, but from a fan standpoint, I always try to encourage fans to go to independent wrestling, and most of them only know AEW, WWE, and they say, hey, and I'm always like, hey, if you want to go to WWE, AEW, I love you for it. Go, have fun.
Yeah.
But explain to fans what they're missing if they don't go to that indie show. People would say to me, oh, there's somebody running in the high school. It's amateur professional wrestling. I'm like, there's no such thing. I mean, technically there is if you got like the Outlaws. But talk to me what it's like going to an independent show. Because I feel like fans miss out on a lot if they skip those shows.
Yeah, they really do. It's a lot of fun. It's like a whole different like culture in a way, There's a lot more like goofiness involved because we're all there to just have a good time and be entertained. And it's great to be serious a lot in your matches, but like you want to have fun, you want to have those as much fun as you can. You're surrounded by all your friends on the independent scene, like not that they're not friends, on the top shows, but just it's a different kind of feel. It's a little bit more relaxed and like, oh, we can just goof around, make each other laugh, make the fans laugh. It's so cool. And you get to see so many things that are like unorthodox that you would never see somewhere else. It's different from other shows, like in other industries, like music or things like that, or like theater. It's so different. And it's interactive too. So that's the best part.
That's the part I was going to bring up. If I go to a show, I can boo Dani Jordyn, and guess what? She's going to hear me. She might go, hey,
right, yeah.
Yell at me, hey, kid.
Yeah.
And the fact that fans are part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven right now during the pandemic that I have a hard time watching these when they first had no fans in the arena. I mean, I love wrestling, but I was like, man, this is tough to watch.
It's so hard doing it with like being out there and trying to be 100% you when there's no one to like feed off of, And it's cool. It's great that they have your peers like ringside for you and everything to kind of make some noise, but it's not the same. It's just not. It's cool to have the background sound and a little bit of the reaction and everything like that, but you need that like real passion and emotion from the fans that are watching you, the people that love to see what we do. It's just different.
Yeah, I mean, and I always like to remind the fans that they're a huge part of the show.
Huge part of the show.
Reason why
we would be nothing without fans. Like, where would we go?
So I'm up here in Wisconsin, and now 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went to my first show since the pandemic.
Oh, wow. How did that go?
It went well. I just went there as a member of Wrestling Travel just to kind of watch. Well, I walked into it was like I thought they were having like an all-star battle royal. I'm like, everybody had just kind of gathered and we're working on stuff. It was just kind of nice to see everybody, and they drew a ton of fans. They were doing the forehead temperatures. They had hand sanitizers and masks and encouraging the social distancing. And I got to tell you, probably half the fans that they normally would have had, but the energy and the passion.
Yeah.
Back. So when
when it first comes back, being away for so long from watching your favorite shows and stuff, and you come back. I can't wait for that. Like I haven't really had any of the indie shows come back yet. So I think around like I think August is my first show back. And I don't know if there's gonna be a crowd. I don't know what's really going on. I think it's kind of like up in the air right now. With like we're gonna see what happens, but I hope there's people there, and I hope that they're taking the proper safety procedures for everyone to be in the same place at once. But I can't wait until I have a crowd back again.
Where is that show at?
It's up in Chicago or Maryland, one of those two. It's called Kickstart My Heart. I just forget
Minnesota.
which spot it's at. Yes, there it is.
Minnesota. That's
awesome. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, that'll be a really great show. And it's August 1st, I believe. So I'm supposed to be cleared by then. So I hope that my knee holds up for that, because I don't want to miss that. I'm excited.
That's awesome. One of my colleagues here at Wrestling Travel, we brought her on to do some interviews. Brittany Nicole from Elevate Pro.
Oh yeah, I love her.
She does some stuff with them.
Nice. I mean, I hate Brittany Nicole.
Right.
Hate her. Because I'm the mean girl, so I have to be,
No, that's fantastic. You know what? That's like 4 hours from where I live. We might make it out there for that and do a little.
Oh, cool. Yeah, please try. But if you can't, I understand, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my birthday's on the 2nd, so what a better present than go watch wrestling in Minnesota. So I won't tell you how old I'm going to be. I got to lie about my age yet for a little while. When was the last time
21?
21, thank you. This is why you're my favorite person I've ever interviewed.
Thank you.
When was the last time you got in the ring then before this craziness hit?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember the last time I was in the ring from when everything first started, but I remember, I did the AEW work, so that's about the last time. So it's been a few weeks now, so I don't even remember now.
I know, I was trying to,
July, I think it was around June 10th, I think. And that my training school is open. And then I haven't really been back to the school in maybe 4 weeks now, something like that.
Did you have gyms and stuff open up down there and then just shut down, or did you guys not get to that point?
Oh yeah, no, everything pretty much shut down, and then they reopened a few weeks ago, but with limits, So like the gym that I go to right now around the corner, that one, I go to Planet Fitness. But they have they close down at like 9 p.m. and then they reopen again at midnight so that they can like deep clean and stuff. So, and I just recently started going back there within the last like 2 weeks because my school wasn't open at the time. So trying to do that, wearing a mask, it sucks, but.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Now they're
through it.
Walmart's requiring masks and everything now, and
yeah,
and that's fine.
I mean, I feel like that's a good procedure to put in place. A lot of people are just walking around without them, so protect each other.
We're gonna have to, $1 million idea, Danny, that you and I could come up with is that mask that protects you, but it actually cools your intake breath while you're doing cardio. Because I can't.
Oh man.
Have some type of.
Yeah, they don't have those already.
No, I don't know. If they do, they're probably expensive. But you and I should invent them.
I was gonna say, yeah, they might be expensive. That would be genius. I've seen like those hats that reminded me of those hats that like have a little fan in them, so you can just keep your head cool and stuff like that. If you're at a sporting game or something, those are cool.
Right.
Those kind of like that.
Are cool. And those things you put on your neck that have the gel in them, those little gel beads, and you stick them in cold water, and they puff up, and you can put them around your.
What?
You know how if you hit that? Yeah. If you hit that spot on the back of your neck, these are years.
That nice.
These are old. That's old stuff. But you put that. Even if you put a pack of ice on your neck, but they have those. People are like, "What are these two idiots talking about right now?" But
right. neck beads and
neck beads and cooling masks. And well, I was gonna say, if you wanted to make a mint, if you had 20/20 vision before the coronavirus hit, I wish I would have bought up every weight in the world, because people were selling dumbbells on Craigslist
I
for
know,
ridiculous amounts of money.
I know.
So, what did
Thankfully,
you
I
do?
have some stuff at home to keep me to like hold me over. Other than that, I've just been like going outside or doing like body weight stuff. You know, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot we can do inside, but lifting weights is like I miss that so much.
Well, you're
I
right
miss
down there
doing
in Georgia.
cardio too.
DDP should have sent you over a yoga package or something there.
Right.
What
Well,
did
I
you
mean, I
do?
have that. You know.
Yeah. What did you do wrestling wise though? You couldn't get in the ring for a long time. Did you do a lot of film study? Are you cutting
Yeah.
promos here?
It's pretty much all you can do. Just tape study and stuff like that. Me and my friends even went to the park and you know, the ones that I stay close with. So I have two roommates, so like that they're workers as well. So we would just go to the park together, and then our other friend that lives down the street, and we would do like little like we try to incorporate wrestling into like our workout that we're doing at the park. So we'll do like we'll be like either in the grass or in the parking lot doing like drop downs and yeah. We look ridiculous. People were like stopping to stare at us or like, you know, have a little like fight scene going on. And people are like, what's going on? We're like, just don't look.
Oh, what is that called? I'm trying to think when the and I don't want to say anything bad about them, but you know the cosplay ones where they get together in a park with these foam
Yeah.
swords, the hell out of each
Yeah.
other. That
Oh
actually,
man, if we put on our gear and then went out there, that'd be funny.
whatever,
We
they
should
got
have
a
done
name
that.
for it, but yeah, those foam swords look fun. But yeah, next
Yeah.
time get in the gear, film
Yeah.
it, put it on TikTok, and
We
you'll get.
should. I'll put like little sticks in the ground and put like a string. We'll make like an impromptu ring. That would
Yeah,
be funny.
that would be awesome. That would be.
Hmm.
I don't know if the word. I don't know if I
Basically just
always
backyard wrestling.
backyard wrestling. Bring it back and set it to music, and there we go. So, what are in your young career, Dani? And you have to see what match when you were with AEW just that did that spot there. Who did you wrestle?
I wrestled Big Swole. The that was the latest match, and then before that, I had Chris Statlander and Sheeta
You've
on Dark.
been in with some great names.
Oh yeah,
Who are some other names that you've been in the ring with since your career started? I know it's young, but I always like to find out who are some of the names.
um, besides my trainer AR Fox, wrestled him a bunch. Let's see, I've been in the ring with people like Priscilla Kelly, Tommy Dreamer, Kiera Hogan. Um, who else have I been in the ring with? As we're saying top names. I don't
Oh,
know.
you know what?
I
There's
feel like I
some.
have a list, and right now I'm like drawing a blank because it's been so long like since I've recalled my wrestling career. I should just write all this down. Actually, I think I have it written down somewhere.
Probably do have it written down somewhere. Well, we'll move on. My
Yeah, I
next
do.
question. Wrestling travel, as I told you, and you know this. We're out of the UK. What we do is we bring fans to their favorite wrestling events around
Hmm.
the world. The last one we were able to do before the lockdown was Wrestle Kingdom in Japan. So we get the fans. They sign up with us, their flight, their hotel, their ticket. We bring all kinds of special guests in at parties and stuff. Which brings me
Hmm.
to my question. That was my plug, if you couldn't tell. But where has this crazy sport of wrestling? I know it's taken you all over, but where have you been able to wrestle, and what are some of your favorite places that wrestling has taken you? Like favorite cities?
Um, Favorite cities. I really liked going to Chicago. That was cool. I went to it was called Berwyn Championship Wrestling, BCW. So I was there. That was a while ago. That was like almost 2, 3 years ago, something like that. But that was a lot of fun. That crowd was awesome. Um, I was recently at well, before Corona, BC.
Yeah.
I was at Primetime Pro Wrestling, which was in Maryland. It was in DC, I think. Yeah. That was awesome. That was so cool. It was also an LGBTQ show, so that was like super fun. That was the first one of those shows that I've been a part of, and the crowd was like incredible. So, so that's always good. I love doing Queens of Combat. That's always fun. It's a very small, like they're usually in like a smaller venue, so they have a more like intimate crowd. So that's always fun. Man, I don't know. I think I haven't really done like a lot of the top indie shows. Like I haven't done Shine or anything like that. Shimmer, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I will after, once everything comes back, I'll be on some other
After they
things that
see
are
this
top name.
interview, they'll be all over it.
Yeah, this specific interview is going to be the one.
This is the one. If we could just get a few more.
Yeah, a few more. I was supposed to do Fest Wrestling for Mania weekend, and that got canceled. But that was something that I was really looking forward to. That would have been a lot of fun. I was in a good match. And then, man, that would have been a great show. There's a lot of good people on that show.
There's so much good stuff that got canceled
Right.
that weekend.
I know. I was also supposed to do a Rise seminar that was coming up. I missed out on that. I was supposed to wrestle Kylie Rae at this local promotion that I do, Southern Honor Wrestling. Supposed to do that, and she's like my number one, so that was a little bit upsetting. So hopefully that comes around again. But there's a lot of stuff that I missed out on, and that everybody else missed out on as well. So that sucks. But once everything comes back, hopefully we get to reschedule all those fun things and pick back up. I thought 2020 was like the year. It was going to be the one. Break out, go to all the shows, do all the big name shows. It could still happen.
I did so much planning for our Mania weekend with our fans. Like the amount of talent that I reached out to, like, hey, can you, because what we do is we do some parties before, like NXT. We have a open bar. And I'm like, cool. I just want to bring in some last year in New York, brought in James Storm last minute, called him up. He saved my bacon because the original guest canceled like at the last minute. And to be in a bar in Brooklyn and James Storm comes in and you're a fan and he's having a couple Coors Lights with you. I'm like, we love to do just the meet and greets so the fans can meet wrestlers like yourself. Now, one of the countries I didn't hear mentioned, and because of who I work for, I got to talk to you about, you have not wrestled in the United Kingdom yet. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have not. I would love to, of course. I feel like anybody would love to go there. But yeah, one of the places I've been wanting to go for quite a while. Such good talent over there. It's insane.
The fan base, I'm finding out since I've worked, are very knowledgeable, very
oh my god, yeah, that's the best. Like whenever I watch UK shows, it's the fans that like really bring that to life. It's so cool. Oh, that environment must be like just like a totally different feeling.
They steal the show, don't they, with like their soccer chants or what they call football chants?
Yes.
I love it.
I love that. It's so good. Or the little songs that they break out into.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're into it. I looked up, was it Santino Marella or something? It was in Manchester. Mm-hmm. And when he used to do his goofy stuff, and he just had the crowd, like that give and take with the crowd over there is just awesome. So
yeah, it's unreal. It seems like
well, I do apologize. Fun. I keep talking over you, I feel like, because
no, you're good. You're good. I think we're on a delay too, a little bit.
That's what I'm thinking is happening. There's been a couple of these.
Hear myself in an echo.
Oh, that's the worst. So being respectful of your time, I'm going to ask you just a couple more questions. This one I'm going to ask you right now sucks because I would hate to answer it because you feel like you're leaving more people off than on. But I guess Kylie Rae, would that be a bucket list? you have kind of a list of, before this is all over, a few talents that you'd like to mix it up with?
Yeah, literally anybody. Like, I just want to wrestle everybody. But yeah, Kylie has been the number one since I've first found out about her, basically, since like I started little after my career started. So she's been a number one of mine for a long time. She's so good. I mean, how can you not? You know, everybody loves her. So talented. So that's number one. Other number ones, I think I love to wrestle Allison Kay. Literally anybody. I feel like those are like the top two though.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way. I mean, you don't leave anybody out.
I mean,
but yeah, I gotta say,
I could literally just list you like 100 people right now. But yeah, I would say those are like top two right now.
Yeah, Smiley Kylie versus the Mean Girl. I gotta think that if you're anywhere near where that match happens, you got to get there.
Right.
So this is my most important question I'm going to ask you. It's my final question. But how do we, as fans, where can we follow you on social media? Where can we buy any Dani Jordyn merch? How can we keep up with you? You know, how, as fans, what are your socials that we could follow?
My socials. Twitter, I believe my @ now is just Dani Jordyn. So DaniJordyn. And then Instagram is just @DaniJ, DANIJ. And that's pretty much it. You can find, I have 2 t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. So got that up and running recently. So that's cool. Maybe some more coming out soon. I don't know. That's about it. Those top 3: Twitter, Instagram, Pro Wrestling Tees. Find it.
That's how you can follow Dani Jordyn. More importantly, if you're anywhere near a show that she's on, buy a ticket, come out.
Yes.
Show your support.
Please,
for pro wrestling.
Please come in. Please don't approach me, but please come see the show. Just kidding.
All right, Dani Jordyn, I cannot thank you enough for spending time with us. Pardon our technical difficulties, but it was great to meet you. Great to speak with you. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.